morning, good afternoon for anyone who is in a different time zone than we are. This is a great day today. We're going to have, I think, will be a very interesting and very motivating session and useful to all of us in the industry. Today, we have with us Mr. Pete Bryant, who is the CEO and co-founder of Steller. Pete has been with us before at some point when we had another webinar from Steller. He is currently the CEO and co-founder of Steller. Steller is the world's largest travel storytelling platform and community reimagined for today's mobile-first travelers. Pete is very passionate about the power of storytelling and the mobile-first digital native generation. His experience in storytelling and travel combines his expertise with excitement, bringing these two avenues together. This is a very innovative and up-to-date way of promoting destinations and promoting your product. My experiences with watching what they have done in different countries has been spectacular. I think that everyone joining and listening will get a tremendous experience from this. So without further ado, and let's get into the meat of this, which is the learning experience that we're going to have today. Pete, this is your time now.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you very, very much. It's been a pleasure working with you and really excited for today. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Perfect. Okay, here we go. So as Annette said, like I'm very, very passionate about storytelling. Almost my entire career has been spent in content, content creation, content distribution, and when the opportunity came to apply all this to the travel industry, I was very, very excited. With Steller, we have a very unique opportunity to, as I think, really repaint the canvas of travel today. Unprecedented are all of us as we in various stages still recover from the pandemic, and it's not kind, it's not friendly, it's been hard, but for us in particular, our team, we took it as an opportunity to look inwards and really understand who we are, what we are, and what we can bring to this vast, enormous industry, and really, a people set from all over the world called travel. Our company, our platform, our community, our creators are unique in the sense that we're built to share and share with each other. And not necessarily driven by the big machinery that dominates the industry from a search perspective or a booking perspective. We're about that human narrative, and our platform is built in a way that it starts with creation, and then you can share with the community. The platform extends out so that you can share on other platforms. So it as we think about it, is the widest possible boulevard with the lowest guardrails, giving leeway to creators and businesses and destinations to really share their story. And we continue to innovate. I would encourage everyone on today's call to go to the App Store, no matter what device you're on, Android or iOS, and download our most recent update. And for us, we launched in 2014. This is the single most, since our launch, the most important update, because it brings to life what we call moments. These are these instant captures of a moment. We know we've had them, all of us, whether it's here in Seattle. We have a beautiful sunrise this morning. It's quite early. there's a moment there that you can now share with a global community. We're video first, meaning that we not just because of TikTok, not just because of Instagram. Video in travel is very, very important because it captures the essence of the moment, the sounds, the feel, the vibe, everything that you're looking to grab as you sort through inspiration and trip planning and so forth. And it also gives a voice to the creator. So we're quite excited about our new release, and really excited for what it can do to expose and share at a deeper level a destination. So with that, why don't I just kind of show you what I'm talking about. Pretty exciting stuff. And I think what we're most excited about is how content can be used now. We live in a world today where whether no matter what digital channel you're on or engaging in, it's always on. And by that I mean there's no office hours, there's no open and close. It's always on. So as we think about how to apply that principle in the world of content, we think of it as first as content creation. And within that creation, what you're trying to capture is that local perspective, is that little aha moment that we've all had throughout our travels. And sometimes, you have to challenge yourself to say like, well, it's expected and mundane for me, but perhaps the cafe around the corner in my own hometown is a hidden gem. And why not capture that moment and share it with the community? Because who knows who potentially might be coming to my destination. So we see it as an opportunity to constantly signal this vast social digital network that really knows no boundaries with content signal. And when you think about Steller is in what's really truly unique at the end of the day is our user base. So we're over 1.5 million users from 180 countries. We know no boundaries. Anyone can create content from any destination around the world, and that is a very, very unique perspective. And we hope with the new release that we're giving tools to creators to share even more in the hopes of helping the fellow traveler with unique experiences as they travel. So how do you take a world of content, a world of users, and provide a focal point? During COVID, we did a couple of things as we all did, as you started to open the cabinets and go into rooms you hadn't gone into in a while in your home with a different perspective. We focused on how to provide a focal point. That focal point became destinations for us. It was a natural place, whether you know where you want to go, you're predisposed to thinking about the world and geographic locations and destinations. So we reoriented the vast amount of content we have on the platform. There's over 30 million pieces of content on Steller today, to be really focused around destinations and celebrating destinations from the wonderful diversity that represents travelers who create content about destinations. And with that, we've challenged ourselves to do two additional things, which is to try to create a persona of a destination. So like, I can tell you in Seattle, we have a certain persona about the city. We're unique, and we're surrounded by big volcanoes and water everywhere, and lots of rain, but sometimes lots of sun and natural beauty. And it has its own vibe, and so we really want to bring that forward in content to establish a persona of a destination through the creators themselves. Secondly, we want to give context. So one of the challenges with the vast amount of content sitting on social media today is it useful? Where is it? How can I practically use it to plan or do research in my trip? So we think of that world as the world of context, and it's kind of, in two dimensions. It's in a map, like truly the lat long of where this incredible story is relative to where I am and the world itself. And then secondly, what exactly is it? And how can I connect to it? Is there a website? Is there a phone number? Is there a booking link? Is it something that I can actually connect to? And lastly, the tool itself to save it, to simply just save it, and save it to a collection called, I want to go to Georgia. I want to go to Singapore, and I'm going to start to save elements from other travelers that are important for me. So during COVID, we spent a lot of time, what I think of is at the backside of our platform. We did a very, very deep integration with Trivago. Trivago is a world-leading meta search platform. So when you're looking to compare hotels, now that you've kind of narrow scoped down to a destination, it gives you price comparison and allows for you to book. So we did a deep native integration into destinations with Trivago, and soon a similar type of integration with Expedia, allowing seamless, easy access to booking without being pushy, without directing you, just in the natural narrative of storytelling, surface contextually information that's helpful. And that becomes a real big driver for us in our platform as you download the app and explore. So then let's stand back for a second after everything I've told you so far, and just look at the cycle of content creation. And look at it, and I encourage everyone to always look at it, not just through the eyes of a user, but the eyes of a creator. Because ultimately, Annette, I want you to share unique experiences in Panama because you're there, you're present. You walk the streets, the city. And that's very, very valuable to someone who's never been to Panama. And so our goal is really to turn everyone into a creator. When you think about our platform, we have over 200,000, what I'll call amateur or professional creators. These are talented creators that aspire to travel the world as their number one industry or as a passion. They're skilled photographers, videographers. They have followings, and they're home, not just to other social channels, but to Steller. And we welcome them and we relish in them, but we want them to not just share content, but encourage everyone to create content. So once you have everyone creating, you then that content is smartly located all over the world, built into collections, built into focal points within a destination that easily allows for people to discover. And discovery is this wonderful sequence of, I know what I'm looking for, and I found it. Wow, that was awesome. I can save it. I can do whatever I need to with it. Or I don't know, and I'm now just going to travel the world and look for interesting destinations. And you'll find in our new app experience that you can simply swipe down at any time in your user experience and discover the world. And we're going to continue to innovate around global discovery as the platform continues to evolve. Now you found something, you want to save it, and you start to build through collections, dream trips, practical trips, tomorrow, this weekend, next week, a month from now, and you know, you never know. You just never know when the opportunity is going to come up, whether it's planned or unplanned travel. And so we have a robust save function that no matter where you are in the app, you can save. And that's important for us because when we look at COVID recovery, in particular, the year 2022, the UNWTO just released in early August some of their international inbound numbers, and it's pretty staggering. Europe saw a 350% increase. The Americas saw 112% increase year over. Okay, not compared to 2019, but year over, because that's the world in which we live in. We live in 2022, not 2019, and within that, in talking with people all over the industry, destinations, tourism boards, we're seeing this phenomena of just-in-time travel, whether it's domestic, whether it's international, and really no one quite knows why that is. Typically, there are planning cycles involving international travel. And now there's a bit of an unpredictable state of the international traveler. And we really want to encourage that kind of behavior by doing a couple of things. Constantly sharing new destinations all over the world within that new content, and giving robust tools for saving and booking within our platform so that users can quickly plan a trip. This weekend's next week. They have the tools within our platform. They don't have to app hop to do it. And so, you know, kind of in conclusion, in this particular side, that is our cycle as we see it on our platform. So the content itself and its value and net effect into a global audience. So where do we go from a platform in comparison to large social digital channels such as Instagram with 1 billion users and TikTok with literally hundreds of millions of daily active users of all sorts? How do we share this world of travel content as the new canvas gets painted, right? The post-COVID canvas of travel. So back to where we started on our platform, we have what we call a Steller player. Player allows for the content to travel quite well, meaning you can share your stories into other social channels, whether that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and very recently we launched a integrated partnership with Bing Travel, and Bing has been a long player in the travel industry, probably not like what you think in terms of Google Travel, but more from a visual perspective. They celebrate imagery and videos and video content, experiential content, and have for a very, very long time. Since their launch in the mid-90s, they've always celebrated the world, and it's a unique partnership for us because we're integral to it. And as you search now some 600 destinations within Bing Travel, you'll see traveler-generated content throughout. So this content now is being distributed into a vast user environment. Bing sees over 1 billion monthly users. Travel is their second largest category. So we're quite excited about where content now travels to and how people engage with it on our platform. And in particular, that's important for creators that are hoping to get their message out, travelers that have a critical story to tell and are excited about sharing that to a global community. And moving forward, we look to launch, hundreds, if not thousands of destinations with Bing. So let's hone back into destinations and how we elevate destinations around the world, because that's truly the story that can be told, is why should I consider, as someone in the Northwest of the United States, should travel around the globe to visit the country of Georgia or Singapore. And so we decided early on in about 2019 that we would take our platform, our community, and we would bring it to a destination. That destination was Ireland. And they had a challenge at that particular time on dispersal, meaning they actually didn't need another million travelers to descend on Dublin. What they needed is for another million travelers to land in their country and discover places like the Wild Atlantic Way and Galway, and they were struggling to implement that. So we brought in 27 creators and shared the rest of the country with the world. And that really kind of launched us into deep destination tourism board partnerships. And we've never looked back. And we celebrate each one in its unique state and its unique message with the global community. We found a way to make it fun and engaging, and a true celebration of not just the destination, but the people within the travel industry and the experiences they afford, whether it's a B&B owner or a small boutique hotel owner or a guide or a tour operator or a restaurant or a health and wellness destination within a country. And so we bring everybody together and we celebrate each other and the opportunity to share these unique experiences with a global, always-on community. And it's proven to be quite successful. So here is Singapore. No, I want you till the sun comes in the morning light. Yeah, I'll keep you safe, I'll never let you go. When your heart is racing, 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 and so the goal with Singapore was to bring a very diverse set of creators into the country and begin exploring what happens when Singapore is a city that can suck you into it and never let you go, but yet if you just move beyond its core boundaries, it's a wonderful world of activities and experiences and beaches, and they really wanted to celebrate the point of landing and then the point of discovery. And so we worked with a unique set of global creators to descend upon the city and really began exploring and discovering the evergreen state, the beaches, the activities, and this was originally intended to be a very, very quick kind of experience, and what we learned is this content continues almost surprisingly to drive engagement all over the world, and we don't quite know why, because maybe the global perspective of Singapore was one thing, and this content represents a unique view lens into the country and what you can do there. But you can see from our output, we're a very data-driven, company and platform, because we really want to share with the creators, how their audience engages with their content, with the hopes that they can continue to evolve their storytelling, and we can continue to evolve how content helps travelers. But pretty impressive for a very, very small investment, in terms of the metrics, the outreach, for the core industry to understand on the campaign value. It's basically a calculation that says, if you were to go out into the open market with some money in your bank account, effectively, this is how much you would have to spend to get this type of exposure. And surprisingly, what we've seen over the history of doing a lot of these types of experiences with destinations is the return on investment, or if you calculate as return on ad spend, has been quite tremendous, meaning that that a lot of this content and engagement is driven organically, right? So you think of marketing and always on, traditionally your mindset is paid, right? And here we have a global community of travelers that are willing to share experiences with each other organically, and it has tremendous value. So here's Singapore. And then very, very recently, we've done a summer edition of a longstanding campaign with the Republic of Georgia that we'll talk about. So as you can see, this particular campaign really performed quite well. And part of it is this kind of surprise and sense of discovery. People don't know quite what to expect. You think of the Caucasus in Georgia, you think of Tbilisi, you think of food and wine. And then you are presented with something that is maybe confusing, because you think you're looking at Austria or Switzerland or the Dolomites, and so we were really emphatic and focused on the power of seasons here now with Georgia, not just being thought of as a winter destination for ski and winter sport activities, but of ideal destination for summer activities, and so we were able to celebrate the beauty of the mountains, the people, the food, summer activities, and sometimes as luck would have it, as fate would have it, you kind of have this viral coefficient of success. And we had in this case, a number of stories that really resonated with users all over the world, and really kind of produced almost stunning results. And so, is this to be expected in every single campaign, based on investment and content and everything it takes to pull these off? Probably not, but it's the potential. And the beauty about this use case and Singapore and all the others is our content's evergreen, right? So when we go back to the concept of always on, and you think of like a signal, like I'm sending a signal to the globe, to a global community, is there anyone there to receive it? That's kind of how we think about travel content and producing content and publishing content. Is once you engage in this channel, you do need to be always on, and it's an opportunity at any one time for a piece of content like you've just experienced in Georgia to reach maybe somebody in New Hampshire or in Belgium, that that brief 8 seconds or that photo or a human narrative caught their attention, and now they can follow that content to a platform that excuse me, that allows for them to immerse themselves in Georgia, and hopefully plan and ultimately book and travel to these destinations around the world. So that's it for the presentation. And look, I'm passionate, as Annette said, about this. I can talk about our platform, our users, the industry 24/7. I'm an open book for communication. For me, everything starts with let's have something in common. We already have that. We're in the travel industry. We love this industry. Let's have two things in common. You download Steller, and we can start sharing experiences with one another, and have a real interesting conversation, no matter what your background is. So thank you, Annette, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Pete. Great presentation. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for everyone to reach out to new technology, to new ways of promoting our destinations, which is much needed today. At this point, I would like to give the opportunity for any questions. If anyone has any questions, any comments they would like to have Pete answer, please, you can put them in the chat, and we will be happy to share them and have Pete answer them. Let's give everyone a few minutes to see if there's anything that I'm not sure, Pete, if you shared any approximate cost for something like this, or would it depend on?
It's Annette, great question. It's quite variable, and elastic, right? So one creator traveling to a town, to a city, can have an impact, right? The largest we've ever done was 27. I'd say the average engagement with a destination is probably somewhere between 10 and 15 creators. And so the model, the pricing, everything is quite elastic in that sense.
All right. I think, Esther, I don't know if you've opened up the chat for questions. I think that it's interesting that destination management organizations and CBBs have access to something like this. I would suggest for anyone listening or anyone participating to reach out to their local CBBs or DMOs so that they can take a look at this opportunity, because the reach is tremendous. I mean, it's not just one player. You have a world of players involved that can enrich your promotional activities. No, I mean, I see it that way. I mean, as I was listening to you and I've been looking at it, I think that it just opens up a world of opportunities in a much needed world today, because competition for destinations is getting bigger by the minute now that we are in a post-COVID environment.
Yeah, and that just on that, speaking on post-COVID is, you think about an entire industry that had built up to a moment, call that moment the second week of March in 2020. Content, business, everything had built up to a moment, and then it was stopped cold, right? And some 2 years later, turned back on, and so what is most important when we think about the gap of time is the representation of a destination through content, right? So 18 months has passed. The world needs a new view lens into destinations. It needs a new painting, if you will, and we want to be the platform of which that content's created and shared.
All right. Well, I don't see any questions in our chat and I don't want to delay you. I do want to mention a few things about this webinar today. This webinar has been recorded. It will be put in our website, in the Skål International website for all our members to access. We will also share this in all our social media channels. The link will be shared in all our social media channels so that everyone who did not have the opportunity to join us today can access it. And also it will be sent to all Skål International members throughout the world so that they can also listen to the webinar. And if they have any questions, would you like to share with us how, oh, there it is. It's in the screen, how you can contact Steller. And of course, we here at Skål can always give you the information necessary for this. So unless there are any questions, Pete, I would like to thank you on behalf of Skål International, this opportunity of sharing with us something so important in today's world. And I do hope that everyone who registered today enjoyed this session and learned something very interesting for their future.
Thank you, Annette, and everyone for joining today. And we look forward to working with you and your organization and your members all over the world. Very, very excited.
Well, thank you, Pete. And I just want to read to you a message. I don't know if you can see it from Zimbabwe. Thanks for a great presentation. Best regards from Wendy from Zimbabwe.
Fantastic. Wendy,
so I think that's
we'd love to share the Zimbabwe story with the world.
Exactly. Well, you have greetings from Istanbul. So
that's fantastic.
There we have quite a few people registered from all over the world. So I think this will be very interesting for everyone. Thank you for all who joined. We will continue to offer opportunities like this for all our members to enrich their knowledge on how to promote their destinations. And another thank you, Pete, from Guadalajara, Mexico.
Oh, I love it. This is fantastic.
And Taipei, Taiwan is thanking you also. And Florida, South Florida is thanking you. And Nairobi, Kenya, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Caracas, Venezuela, Sweden.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, whoa, and it keeps going. So I think this is a great show of support worldwide. So thank you, everyone. We'll be back with more opportunities like this. Thank you, Pete, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you in the near future again.
Absolutely. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everyone.